welcome to Okon Bros. This is Eric.
I'm Michael, and if you want to learn about the secrets of the universe, the law of attraction, mysticism, brohood, gambling, movies, pop culture, archangels, magic, dragons, good food, business, health, family, and mediumship, smash the subscribe button, hit the thumbs up, press that little noti icon, and spread this video around like frogs in a witch's brew.
Oh, I love it. So today we have on author, TV personality, psychic medium, and good witch, Patti Negri. Welcome to the show, Patti.
Thank you guys so much for having me on. This is great. I feel like a little sandwich in between you guys, the brothers. I like it.
Oh, good. So a patty sandwich.
A patty sandwich.
Patty melt. So first question. We are the biggest Ghost Adventures fans. Yay. How did you get hooked up with Zach and the guys?
It was kind of a fluky thing. My first episode was 6 years ago, and it was The Haunted Hollywood, and they just literally called me in because they had heard a location they were at, the American Legion Hall, that I had done a ghost tour there. I'm on the board of the Hollywood Arts Council, and then I had done not even like a big investigation. This is where everybody's in formals, and my husband's jazz band's playing, and I was doing tours, and I saw Charlie Chaplin at this at this bar stool, and I guess the manager of the club had told him that this local girl had done this. So they called me in, and that first show, I really would have just been like every episode where they have either the local witness or maybe the local psychic medium there. But I guess from that, I guess they figured out I knew what I was doing. Plus, I've been in Hollywood a long time. I've got just the track record to it. I've done tons and tons of TV stuff. So I'm real safe and easy to call. They know I'm legit. So I just started to be the go-to. It's great. Whether they need a seance or more than anything, they just want to test me out. Because believe me, I know nothing. I get literally blindfolded if need be in the trunk of a car. Just like, here's an address, show up. Even with the Cecil Hotel. He doesn't want me prepped, and I don't anyways, because I don't want my left brain to go over my right brain with what I'm seeing. I don't want to know. But with the Cecil, Zach had called me a couple weeks before. He said, we're coming to LA and we're going to call you. We need you for something. Okay, great. Hear nothing. 2 weeks later. Hi, it's Zach. Hey, can you get here in 2 hours? We're downtown address. And I'm a girl. I'm thinking, 2 hours? Did I wash my hair? Do I have time to put on makeup? So he gave me an address. Maybe he whispered Cecil Hotel, but I don't remember that he did. And then I get downtown. I'm like, oh, because they have a sign, even though they tried to. I go, that's the water tower place. The girl. That's all I remembered. I didn't know anything about people jumping out of windows and rapes and murders and stuff. But again,
my question, Patti. I'm a writer, and Zach's show has been so instrumental in my books. The history, the culture of the landmarks that they investigate. Is there an exaggeration when they're on site, or it's all legit? It's real?
Completely legit.
Really?
That's what I was
the reason that it looks yes, there's editing. Somebody was like, of course, but no, it's legit. And I think why they're in their 24th season and 12th year, however that math works, is because it's their commitment. They're like little kids. They're like 120%. And that's what you have to do. So that's why somebody, even before I watch it, like, who are these guys? And they come in like this, but it's that you give it all. You become that 8-year-old child who commits, and it's all legit. It's really if we do, like if I send them to a location or someplace, they won't have me do an investigation. And that's happened. The Reseda house I sent them to, the Pasadena Ritual house I sent them to, and they don't even have me do investigation because they know I know the place.
Wow,
interesting. Yeah, because there are so many skeptics out there, right? Especially when it's on the Travel Channel, which is, fantastical in its own sense with all the things that they produce and stuff like that. And you always, being on the outside, you kind of always question, you'd be like, was there really a growl right there? Was that edited? But you're on the inside.
Yeah, no, it's all real. It's all in time. It's all right there. And then they have to cut whatever because, and we get so much great stuff. Oh, sorry, that was supposed to be off.
It's okay.
No worries. No worries.
Take your time. You got to do. No worries.
Take your time.
Sorry, I hang up on them is what I have to do. No comment. I have a haunted phone. I have haunted everything here. So again, like at the Cecil Hotel, we got all sorts of, I was there 2 nights. They were there 4 nights. You had to fit it into 2 hours. All sorts of other great stuff, light and dark and everywhere else. Oh, stop it.
If that's Zach Bagans, you could bring him on the show.
Put him on speakerphone.
Put him on. But there was stuff that you did that was absolutely life-changing for my family and I. First thing you did was these fucking things. I bought them. I went on Amazon. The dowsing rods. Whoa.
Aren't they amazing?
Whoa. Our mother's a medium.
Hold on. Can anybody do dowsing rods, Patty?
Anybody can do dowsing rods. And honestly, I think it is the best exercise in relaxation because you have to learn all you have to do. You don't have to be a psychic. You don't have to be a medium. You don't have to be a witch. You have to be able to relax. You have to be, because if you're tense and they're not going to work right, as soon as you go, I'm not influencing them. I'm not going to.
Our mother's a medium like you. She's a witch like you. And she was doing these and she was doing it like different days. Like she was like trying it like on a Friday, like, okay, is the business going to do this? Yeah. And then, and then she went like a few days later and asked the same exact questions. And it was all the ones crossed that were crossed and the ones that didn't cross didn't.
For those of you, for the listeners that don't know, Patty, how do dowsing rods work? What are you supposed to do?
They're energy. There's little sticks. I don't know where mine are. They're little sticks. They've been around forever. I mean, really, people find water in the desert with them. My contractor used them to find water lines, not even all woo-woo stuff. They're energy. I think what it is, I feel the energy like going through the arms. They just move. They just get us out of our own way. And they do yes, no questions. I literally tested them for almost a whole year on sports teams. I'm not a sports person. My husband is. It's like, oh, the Yankees are going to beat the whoever. And like, saying, no, that's the worst team. They've been, sorry, it's in the sticks. And they were always right.
Oh my God.
Really?
He's like, what? Yeah. But I wouldn't try betting with it because I bet you that's if they're going to go wrong. Because I think that's cheating for the universe. But yes, they work yes, no questions. And on paranormal investigations, they will, where's the ghost? They'll all point, the ghost is over here, over there, the portals. And
we did it for our father. We were on at my mom's house on a random Saturday. My mom's like, where's David? Which is our father. The fucking sticks went left. And then said, well, where's Roman? Who's our mother's father? The sticks went right. And like, my mother wasn't like this. She wasn't pointing. She was literally as still as a mouse, right? Like still it was. And then she was asking it questions. You think like, all right, if you ask it this and it crosses, then the next time you ask it and it doesn't cross, you go, these things are bullshit. They were all the same.
Is using these things, could it be a distraction for people? Where could somebody say, are they going to live their life by dowsing rods and not make a decision only based upon what the dowsing rods say?
Well, you could, but I've never heard of anybody who got that addicted to dowsing rods. But right. I mean, you could do that with anything. Coffee, tarot cards, the horoscope in the newspaper. Right. People, we like to give away our power to anything we can as a rule. That's what I'm all about, is grabbing back your power. But I've honestly not seen anybody get overly addicted to dowsing rods. No.
I read your book, Old World Magic for the Modern World. It was short. It was to the point. How did you get started? You didn't come out of the womb as a witch, right? Like you didn't come out and be like, I'm in kindergarten. Maybe I'm a witch. No, you did.
I think I did. I was talking to spirits since I was.
Take us back. Take us all the way back.
I'm a toddler and I have those friends, literally, it's so cliche. The guy in the closet, the guy under the bed, the little creatures under the bed, those so-called imaginary friends weren't imaginary. They were real beings and spirits I could get real information of. I would like astral travel all the time. My mom would be going, we're going to go meet the Joneses. I'm like, I was there last night. She's like, you were not there last night. You're 5 years old. I went, the living room's blue. They have ugly wallpaper in the bathroom. I think kids really do have the gift. It just gets taught out of us. Yeah. In our modern, non-mystical Western society, we've lost mysticism. We've lost magic. Oh, that's your imaginary friend. And even on the witchy side, I would find myself in my little suburban Los Angeles backyard. in the backyard, picking rosemary off plants, picking mint out of my mom's garden and stuffing it in her wallet, knowing it would help bring her more money. My mom didn't quite get that. It's like, why are you stuffing weeds in my purse? It's like, it's for money. And then years later, you study apothecary and herbs. And yes, exactly.
Go ahead, Eric. Go ahead.
So, like, you hear of Merlin and you hear of kings and powerful people. Do they have witches and wizards and people like that guiding them and giving them answers
throughout the ages
and even today?
I think so. Again, I think everyone's capable of developing it to different degrees, of course. Like, everybody could take piano lessons. Not everybody's going to be a virtuoso pianist. I'm not, but I can read music and I can plunk out a basic song. But I do think that over the years, sages, ringing bell. Sorry, it's a noisy ass house.
I like it.
But I think sages, wise people who have that connection through the door, through the veil, and see things, whether they're prophesizing whatever's going on, whether they're seers, whether they're healers, whatever, those things that they call witches now that used to just be, women in the forest who just knew what to do with herbs and oils and midwife babies.
Were there any books that helped you along your journey? And if you have to get that again, or just let it go to voicemail or whatever.
I'm just hanging up on them.
All right, good. Were there any books or influences in your life throughout your, what are you, 25 years old? 30 years old?
Yeah.
Okay. You 25 years, 25, 30 years that you've been doing
timeless.
Timeless. I'm timeless. Yes. Yes. Actually, when I started like 300 years ago, I would buy these, I was raised had a practically evangelical atheist grandfather, big famous philosopher, wrote all these books on religion, debunking every religion and belief system. And he came from Turkey, and God was a dirty word in our family. We didn't use that kind of talk. Really? But I would see the light in a church or a temple or a synagogue or a mosque or a forest and go, the energy, I see there's something there. So I started studying just like he studies, but from the opposite perspective, like where he says nothing is real. And I think everything has a point. It's just whatever the template you created at, whatever word you want to use, the energy, I see energy is that through line between that. Really? So I've studied religion, philosophy, cosmology, metaphysics, science, but when I started 30 or so years ago I've found this path. I like an elemental path. I like a very nature path. I would buy these books on craft and they'd be boring or too big, or they're just too intimidating to even pick up. Right. And I would put them down, or they'd look really good on the shelf and never read them. I would buy some skinny little book, skinny little paperback, and I would devour it. There was an author. His name was Scott Cunningham. I got to actually work with him once at a big gathering. He died in like 87. And I got to work, but his books were just like mine, simple, easy, do this, do that. I would devour them and I'd wear them out. So when I wrote this book, I work with people every day. I got tired of everybody gives their power away. Everybody gives their power away to fear.
What does that mean? What does that mean when you say people give their power away?
We are amazing beings. We are divine creatures, and we have free will. The combination thereof makes us, in some senses, better than angels. They just have divine. They don't have the free will part. We have this thing that we can truly create what we want. I don't believe there's any limit, besides the laws of physics. You're not going to be taller, but we tend to give away our power because it's a responsibility thing. We give away our power to limiting belief systems, whether religious or personal. I could never do that. Yeah, now you're probably right. We give away our power to other people all the time. We give away our power to fear. We give all our insecurities. But the tiniest little tweak to pull back our power is easy. It's not even hard. It doesn't take great mind. It's just like, oh, wait, I'm in charge of that. I'm going to put the sails up on my sailboat and I can direct that wind instead of being at the cause of it. So working with people every day, I saw how there were so many similarities of two things: how we give away our power, and number two, that we're asleep at the wheel. Mm-hmm. Everybody, we are zombies. We are the Walking Dead. We use the terminology: asleep at the wheel, phoned in, automatic pilot, by rote. We go to work, we get help, we watch TV, we do this. So it's like, so my whole thing is about waking up, and I'll go back in old school. That's why in the book you see follow moon cycles. It's so easy. The 2 weeks the moon is waxing, you add into your life. Ask for the raise. The 2 weeks the moon is waning, let go. Go on a diet. Quit smoking. Just simple tap. We are almost 60% water. We are run by the moon. We know that. We talk about the full moon, the police, but every moon, if we tapped into that. And so my whole book is like, I just got tired of saying the same thing. Balance out. Oh, that's your emotions. Run your hands underwater. That's your air. You're not breathing, are you? Breathe into it. Right. So it's like these literal hacks, like 30-second hacks, because I don't have an hour to meditate. I have 30 seconds to pull it together as a roll. I'm walking here. I've got to take. So they're almost like the hacks. So I wanted to write this book because I got tired of saying the same thing because everybody has these same issues. So I wrote a book. And then I looked at it and I just went, too many words. Nobody cares about my words. I want to be like Scott Cunningham. I honestly spent more time unwriting it than writing it. Right. So therefore, it's a fast read, a happy read, an empowering, and it's just real easy. I want to go on a diet. Chapter 6. I want to talk to, appreciate my dead people. Okay, there's I think I have a curse on you. You probably don't. But if you think you have you've created it yourself. Do the lemon spell.
Right. You did something that literally changed my family's life when we had our reading together. You pulled out a little dragon and you said, I'm going to email you this instructions to deal with, to work with a dragon that will become your personal assistant. And I started going down this rabbit hole of dragons. No, this dragon hole, I want to call it. I don't want to call it a rabbit hole. And Eric, grab your dragon. There you go. All right. So we're all on dragon. Yeah, hold on. Let me grab it. Eric, so we're all on dragons now. I'm really glad you got it. So like we own a limousine service in Las Vegas. There was one account that we just 20 years could not get. 20 years could not get, no matter how much we tried. So I bought all these dragons. My daughter has one. My son has one. My wife has one. My brother and his family has one. My mom has one. And we bought DJ You have to write a dragon book, by the way. I know it was in here. I know it was in Old World Magic, but I bought DJ Conway's Working with Dragons, right? Dragon magic, everything. 2 freaking weeks. 2 weeks of talking to my dragons, which I named. And I have a little shot glass of chocolate vodka right here for my dragons. 2 freaking weeks of saying one time, get me this account. And we just became preferred and primary at this one account in Las Vegas. That it took me 20 years.
Michael, I have to ask Patti, what does that mean? Okay. How does this work?
It couldn't be a coincidence.
Explain the magic.
No, it's not a coincidence at all. What it is, it's a spirit. It's an energy. It's not the little but I cannot tell you how many A-list Academy Award winning movie stars, sports stars have this little plastic dragon next to their bed or on their altar or by their computer. It's an energy force. We create spirits all the time. We know that. The spirit of fear, the spirit of success, the spirit of failure, spirit of love, spirit of happy family, not so happy family. We create energy is a spirit. We like angels. Angels, like I said before, angels are the purest, the highest. They are dextral. Angels can do 2 things. They can enlighten, and they can protect. Just 2 things, enlighten and protect. They can't cause shift or change. They're dextral. They don't have a sinstral side. The word sin comes from sinstral, but it doesn't really mean doing something naughty. It means shift. So angels are dextral, enlightenment and protection. Great things. You look at other realms, so the fairy realm. The fairies are great. Fae realm is music and laughter and the giggle in the corner. And so bringing fairies into your life with your kids and you're going to have a happier life. But dragons they've been around forever. Chinese dragon, medieval dragon. They're strong and powerful. They're crossroads energy. If you think about the literal, not literal, dragons can fly between heaven and earth. They can cross between those realms. They always get a bad rap because they're powerful, but anything powerful does. Anything that people say is bad luck is probably just powerful. The number 13, black cats rocking under a ladder, breaking a mirror. It just means it's powerful, not bad. Make it good, make it bad. But dragons are crossroads beasts. And a lot of people would say, oh, you can't tell regular people about dragon energy. It's like, oh no, we have to. We just moved into an age, the age of Aquarius. It's not our parents, grandparents, black and white, right and wrong, solid ground. This is it. Nope. It is like this. It is. There's not solid ground. It's that dancing between. There's nothing more perfect than dragon energy to cause that shift. So you are going to give it a name, and you're going to give it your job. You're my personal assistant. You're going to breathe life into it, literal, because your breath, that's your pneuma. That's your life force. Well, from blowing out a birthday candle to it's your breath. And the moisture in your breath is your free will. That's why some cultures spit like, oh, what a pretty baby. You don't have to spit into your breath, but that moisture, you're breathing life, and then you're feeding it. So again, we need dragons. We're creating that energy purpose. This is the little vessel. Since I think I told you this, Michael, but since I've been showing people dragons, just like you get stuff. Serious stuff. Like one stopped an abusive relationship. This woman was stuck in a marriage. It happens, little kids, the money issue. Right. And her husband abused her in a certain way every day. Terrible. Nothing she could do or say or plead would make him stop. Right. Gave her the dragon. She charged the dragon, took it home. He did it again the next day. And then she realized she hadn't told the dragon she didn't like it. It's not your spirit guide. It's not God. You have to tell it. It's not going to think for you.
Yes, exactly.
The dragon could have thought, oh, that's a fun thing. He's never done it again. No way. And I think my most famous one, and they've got the one you've got, Eric, is 2 years ago, I think, LA Dodgers, LA girl, they were winning. They won I'm just gonna make this up, 20 games in a row. And then Sports Illustrated magazine did a special on them, and they go, Dodgers, best team ever, and put them on the cover. They tanked. They lost 20 games in a row. And everybody, all these sports dudes, not anybody who talked to a medium, they were going, it's the curse. It's the Sports Illustrated curse. Oh no. So I was called in, not by anybody who was into the paranormal, by Fred Rogan, the sports cadner, Rodney Pete, Vic the Brick, sports dudes. I was called in. We did the Lebanon crossing spell in the book. We chanted into it. They got a blue dragon. We charged the dragon for Dodgers to win. They won. They made playoffs that year. They won the World Series this year. They have a blue dragon.
It's all about it's all about shifting energy to be in your favor.
Dragons live at the crossroads. The crossroads is where change happens. The shift. Which way on the road do we want to take? It's the movement. It's the shift.
So anybody you go on Amazon or go to a dollar store and go get a little plastic dragon. I named my dragon Pickles. It was the first name it popped into my head. And I love it. Yeah, I whatever booze that I give it bourbon, I give it really good stuff. I give Pickles really great things. Good. And he drinks it all up. Which is the crazy part. And I give a lot. I give in little, like the lid off a little bottle. I put, right under him. Once it was too far away, he had to go swimming. He had to get closer. I buy little dollhouse chalices, and they look like Game of Thrones. They're little plastic, and I fill their stuff up with it.
I want to talk about that. First of all, I'm allowed to mention mine on it. Mine, the blue one is Quemri. Quemri is the protector of our family for health and happy and safetyness. Tailbet is the youngling. It keeps us young and fresh and anxiety free. And I can't tell you what it's been the past 3 weeks I've been working with them. Assam, which is the tyrant, which is keeping us strong, keeps the bond strong between our family. And then my personal dragon is Morsus, and he's the champion of green. This is Morsus right here. And Morsus brings tremendous wealth and prosperity. And there's stuff happening now, like you mentioned during our reading about the stuff that's happening with my books in Hollywood land. Yeah. There's a lot of crazy stuff. How did you learn about dragons, Patti?
I think I was, again, working with them and talking to them before I knew exactly what they were, just like how I've lifted the veil for seances. It just always takes me along to figure out what the name or explain this energy that I knew. I just knew that there was this shifty energy. Right. And then, then you start studying everything. That's why education is good. And then, that's a dragon. I get it. Of course it's a dragon. I had a stuffed toy dragon. Right. Again, and then you look at the culture and see how it's been around forever anyways. You just never paid attention.
I'm rewatching Game of Thrones right now with my wife. We did all 8 seasons when it was on, and now I'm rewatching it. And the dragons, they're all like, this is hidden in plain sight about people that are working with dragons, and they're rich and famous.
But that's my point that I wanted to make, Mike, is that all of these things are hidden in plain sight. Archangels,
100%.
wings, dragons throughout history and modern day history. You see these things hidden in plain sight, whether you see Will Smith talking about how to use and shift energy and say things the right way to get things that you want. It really is. It's why was this lost in time? And why is it so why is it woo-woo now?
Like, we're going to have lawyers listening to this. We have a lot of lawyer friends. They're going to go, you guys are crazy. Dragon magic, really? And we're like, this shit works, man.
It shit works. And really, like, I guess I said, the best part is, like, I think I told, speaking of Vegas, this one girl, if you travel, you could leave your dragon at home and say, you're not going to eat this week or not going to drink. It's okay. It's a vessel. It's a symbolic. It's like lighting. Or take it with you to anybody else. It's your little toy dragon. But she left it at home. She said, take care of my husband, my kids at home, and take care of me and my girlfriends for Vegas weekend. They went to Vegas. They were at a concert. It was great. They were there the second day of the concert. It was great. She grabbed her 2 girlfriends and she said, my dragon said we have to leave. And her girlfriend said, are you crazy? We're not leaving. What we played for these tickets, whoever is up on stage, we're not leaving. Your kids have dragons.
Wait, Eric. Listen to this.
I don't want to know.
She drugged them out. Moments later, the massacre started right where they were standing.
Unbelievable. October.
And she said, my dragon had a voice, a physical voice. Leave now. And she had to drag her friends. And she said, my dragon saved us. I know it. So your dragon, again, we're our creation. We create. You might have an outside voice. Oh, they sound like they're from Jersey or whatever. Or might have an inside voice, the knowing, I need to leave now. I need to turn left here. I better call my mom. You're going to create it to your comfort level, but it's the magic that it is. It's crossroads magic. It's shift and change magic. It's power magic. They breathe fire. They're the fire. They're the Holy Spirit in Christianity. I mean, you could name what the fire thing is and everything, the one that caused it change and shift.
What you mentioned Oscar-winning actors, actresses, directors, film. Are you allowed to mention who they are, or no? You can't. No.
There's this thing called you'll get used to them, an NDA, non-disclosure agreement.
Sure.
We had to ask. So what did they do?
Yeah.
This Oscar-winning actress, don't say her name.
I think I know who it is.
It doesn't matter.
Okay. I'm not saying her name.
What did she do? What did she pray to?
Did she come to you? Was she like, I need help, I want to win an Oscar? Or was she, what happened?
I really can't, but I can't tell you how many people. I can't. I mean, a non-disclosure talks about everything without even giving the name. I'm just like, some of my most amazing things I've got to do, not just with dragons, but from house clearings to everything. It's like, no one would even believe this, but it's true, but I can't talk about it.
Really?
But no, honestly, politicians, sports people who need that extra edge. But as much as that, it's the housewife, it's the secretary, it's the guy who's raising his kids. It just because you're a movie star or whatever isn't better, but we have different sized dreams. We have different.
Right.
And still that doesn't depend on who you are. But I can't talk about my people.
I get that. Did you ever have someone where it said that didn't work for them?
Only if you don't believe it's going to work, guess what? It's not. Even like if we're doing a house clearing or a spell working, I'm breathing. You're Puff the Magic Dragon. Yeah. It's not going to work.
Right.
It's intent. Everything is intent. It's faith, mind, body, spirit. Those 20,000 books written, mind, body, spirit. In magic, that's creation working dispatch, intent working dispatch. It's all the same as the psychological mind, body, spirit. You have to put it together. You have to think about it. You have to believe. There's the mind part. You have to believe. You have to take action. Here's my dragon. The spirit, the breathing into it and the creating of a real spirit.
Right.
So how big can the asks get?
That was a great question.
I think the asks can get pretty, so long as you have the faith to believe it. I think there isn't any limit except for breaking the laws of physics. I think I want to be a foot taller, make me 20 years old again. I want to fly without an airplane. That would take a whole lot of faith. And I don't know if anybody or very many people on this planet have been born with that much faith or belief system. I think if somebody really had it, that's when you are going to part water and do whatever. But that takes a lot of faith.
I put that in my book. I wrote a book called Just Ask the Universe. And I said, like, ask for things out a little that's out of your reach, right? You could have crazy goals, but just don't ask to fly to Mars on like a monkey's back with like clean jet fuel. Like this is just going to be really stupid and you're not going to go anywhere. But if you want to ask for something that's just out of your reach and make it really outrageous because you could see it, you could obtain it. I think it's the same thing with dragons. Do you think, this is going to be a very dumb question, do you think the archangels get angry if you're working with dragons too?
No.
Not at all, right? Okay.
Not at all. You guys, those are such human anger, jealousy. Those are the low level stuff. We all have it because we're human. Right. Higher vibration, lower vibration is out of the insecurity. No, archangels, that's not their job. They're dextral. They enlighten and they protect. They enlighten. They don't want to get you a good limo job. That's not their job.
Right.
There's so much out there. There's dragons, there's archangels, there's seances, there's
fairies.
There's fairies, there's being a psychic, there's mediumship, there's so much out there. Do you have to know all of those things to use to gain the betterment? Because sometimes it can just seem overwhelming, or can you just say, you know what, I like dragons, I'm just going to stick to this?
Yeah. I like to study because, again, this is what I do. I teach. I'm a leader. I speak. I want to know as much as I can. But no, all you have to do is find a roadmap that works for you, a template that works for you. Again, because that's what it is, your belief system. I'm working with dragons. I'm doing archangels. I'm doing archangels and dragons. I'm doing your typical Judeo-Christian whatever. I'm going to be all new ager and affirmations and vision boards. I'm going to be a good old pagan. I'm going to dance around the bonfire with my cloak. That's just how you navigate. It's your roadmap. You could have it as narrow or as wide as what works for you. You could have it, I want somebody to tell me what to do, what is right and wrong. Give me those 10 commandments and make it. Or I know right and wrong. I'm going to figure out my own path along the way, or any combination.
Is there something that you consider the best, or is it just whatever is good for that person?
Whatever is good for that person. The best is what works for you, how you can navigate your life, your happiness, your spirituality, your faith, your belief system. I think my closest one to the one that's closest to real, whatever, again, I think they all have, if you look at the through line of energy, everybody has the Jesus story, the cross. It's Odin. It's the half man, half God. It's the hero story. Everybody has the same story. What is the meaning of that? Does it matter if it was real or not? Maybe, maybe not. Maybe it's the meaning behind it of what. And my best one is the ancient Sumerians. They believe you went to the heaven of where you live, or that what you believed in. Mm-hmm. So if you're going to believe, if I'm a Catholic or a Pearly Gates, and that's where I'm going to go, you're going to create that and you're going to go there. If you're like, no, I'm just going to be part of the great consciousness, you're that. I'm reincarnation, create that. I honestly think, and I've been talking to dead people my whole life. They're fine, by the way. It's closest to the Matrix. Again, old school, old ancient Sumerians. The Matrix, they're the same in a sense. It's energy. It's how we shape it. And again, that we don't use most of our brain in this life, and who knows in taking into the next life. I don't think they have time and space on the other side, which is pretty cool. Grandma could be watching in the window, watching the grandkids grow up, and be sitting by the lake, and be in the pearly gates, and be born in that new little baby. Because I've experienced that. Mm-hmm. But it's hard for us to imagine no time and space because we live by time and space. But why they like us to talk to them, whether it's a seance or a mediumship, or you just want to light a candle and stick a picture of your grandma there and just talk to her a while, it gives them, they're fine, they're great, but without time and space, it's like everywhere. Just specifically talking to them, it gives them that feeling of being alive, of having a moments of time and space. So that's what I want to gather around my seance, whether it's, 13 people around my dining room table, 8 people around, or 25 people on a Zoom thing, or 600 people in a thing. It's the spirit's going, oh, this is like, I'm really, Mom, are you there? Yeah, I'm here. Whether it's a dowsing rod, channeling, the flicker of a candle, it's real-time communication that they have time. So that's why spirits like it.
we lost our father, and we've communicated with him. I communicated with him through you, through other mediums, George Anderson and Thomas John and John Edwards. And, it was it's like you're on the phone with my dad and I'm on the other line, and I can't hear my dad talking into your ear, but the stuff that you're telling me is like, oh, okay, he's doing this or it's doing that. He told me about the archangels through George Anderson. And George Anderson is one of the greatest mediums we've ever been to. We've been seeing him for decades, and he's one of the gold standard for mediumship. He told me about the archangels. How did you learn about the archangels? I mean, I know it kind of coincides with magic and everything, and I'm a practicing magician. You actually even called me that, and I've been introducing myself as a magician to people now. And it feels good to say, like, I was a manifester, and I still am a manifester, but now I'm a magician. Yeah. Because it's different now. A magician is different from being a manifester.
Yeah, it is. You are really directing. Here, move. I'm going to make this happen. I'm going to make that
100%,
happen.
100%.
It's next level. I think in my studies, I study everything and everybody. It's just like, it rang true to me. It rang true to me. That's it. Dragons rang true to me. Certain philosophies, I think it's probably true, but it doesn't work in how my cosmology. Right. Like a lot of Eastern philosophy just doesn't work for me. I just have too Western of a brain. It's true and it's fabulous and it's wonderful. Buddhism didn't work for me. I don't want just the nothingness of everything. I want the somethingest of everything. I don't want to relax. What?
Yeah. What do you do? How do you handle bad days, Patti? Do you allow yourself to have a bad day, or
I will allow myself to have a bad day? I do try just to get out of it. When I get bored with it, it's like, oh, this is boring. I will do pretty much what it even says in my book. Okay, I figure out I put everything into the elements: air, fire, water, earth. The earth is my grounding. It's my persona. It's my home. It's how people know me. Am I feeling not my fire? That's my passion, creativity, love, sex, God. Is it there? But usually we're off balance on the West and East. Water is our emotions. Are you upset? Are you angry? Are you sad? Are you just general angst and you don't know why? That's your what? Air is that thought process, focus, clarity, chatty brain, can't think. I can't focus. If I'm having a bad day, I go, okay, what is it? Is it emotional? Is it overwhelming? Is it thought? And I will do my 30-second balancing exercises. That's why I created them for myself. Again, I don't have an hour to meditate. I have 30 seconds. I've got to go talk to somebody. So I will let myself, thrive in a bad day for a second. I want to be in a bad mood, dang it. But people never expect that from me. It's like, who are you? It's like, I could be cranky. Now I'm over it. And I'm going to go hug a tree. I need grounding. Literally hug a tree, get barefoot, do earthing. If you can't do that, grab a pencil, wood, anything, rock, it's my emotions. I'm going to go run my hands underwater because I'm just stopping it all up. It has to flow.
Really, and I have a two-pronged comment right now. The first thing you said about earth, air, wind, fire, and spirit, that's what Monsterland is, a 5-book series, and it's earth, air, wind, fire, and spirit in the 5-book series. So I was doing that subconsciously without even realizing that one of the stories is about underground, which is the earth. It's about grounding. Mm-hmm. One of the stories about air. It's about spirit. One of the stories about fire. Anyway, yep. Oh my God, I lost my train of thought.
Hidden in plain sight again.
Hidden in plain sight. Exactly. That's exactly right. That I'm doing this to I remember what I want to say. Revenge. Is there a karmic effect? I'm working with archangels, and I'm trying to hit some people who've hit us before. Is there this karmic effect that if you kind of do a revenge spell, and I'm putting that in quotes, do you find that it's going to hit you later on? Do you believe in karma?
Yeah, I do. I believe in karma. What it is,
I better stop those spells then. I better stop.
because what it is, like a spell, revenge, curse, everything you put out comes back to you. That's the law of karma. That's the Wiccan read. What you put out actually comes back 3 times. So putting out revenge and it's going to get you, or cursing somebody, you are now creating a world of curses where curses exist, and you can be cursed. You can be revenged. It's like we create our world. Mm-hmm. So, and revenge and hate and disgust is an attachment. It's just as much of attachment as love and admire and joy. If you really want to unattach, you should unattach, not care, not whatever. Then they're not affecting you. I'm going to get you. I'm going to get you. You're attached. You're attached to them.
I couldn't agree more.
I
couldn't agree more. I've told Michael not to touch that with a 10-foot pole.
Yeah.
He doesn't listen.
No.
Yeah.
But it was in the book. It was in the book.
It doesn't mean that you should do it.
I know.
Does it feel right? Would mom want you to do that? That's the question that you would have. That you would want. Would Patty want you to do that?
Patty or mom would not want me to do that. No.
So then you shouldn't do it.
But it was more about competition. It wasn't about putting a spell on someone. It was about stopping people from taking away from us. Big difference. That I'm not saying these people should die and hurt and just leave us alone.
Well, then that's a defensive magic. That's great. There's lots of defensive magic. Putting for everything, even the book, The Simple, put a mirror around yourself. You could freeze people out. Stick them in a baggie filled with water in the freezer.
It's from
but don't be sending them bad energy.
No. It's not bad energy. It's from the 72 Angels of Magic. It's by Damon Brand. And I was working with one of these angels to to stop people from attacking you. Like it was stopping people from.
That's defensive. That's not wishing them bad. That's
right.
It's all in intent. If you are there and make them hurt, that's different. But if you're you want to protect yourself, your family. Yes, you can do all that.
Right.
But you could, and see, I've learned to go the opposite way. Instead of I know somebody was saying, oh, I wish my neighbors would move out. They're horrible. I go, instead of just wishing they move out and they have bad luck, what if you wish them to find such a better apartment that they want to leave, and then they're happy and you're happy and everybody's happy. Right. When my little challenge is, I want to see how many times I could beat 100,000 people to do something. It started out with Wipeout. Health issues. I was told I'd be dead in a wheelchair, and I went, no. So I beat 80 or 100,000 people to get on the world's biggest obstacle course. That's a challenge. Ooh, that's a high. Okay, now what can I do? I don't know how to cook. I'm going to beat 100,000 people and cook for Gordon Ramsay. I did it. Got a master chef. Wow. And then it's okay, ooh, this is fun. Okay, what am I have no talent for? America's Got Talent. I have none of the kind of talents. Next thing I know, I am on the Dolby stage rolling around the floor with Howie Mandel, and I got so when you were there you're there 5,000 people at the convention center, and they've gone to every major city, and you are up against 80 or 100,000 people. And I am sitting there with my eye of newt pumpkin soup to cook, or my physicality, or I wasn't going, oh, I hope that person breaks their leg, or, oh, I hope they burn their pizza. I was like, God, good luck to you. You look great. I hope you get it. I hope you do it. All this positive energy I was sending out shined on me. I ended up on those shows, all 3 of them.
Wow.
And it was never by wishing anybody negative, all by wishing them positive. Right. What you put out, you get back. It's science, cause and effect, action and reaction. The world you create is the world you live in.
Unbelievable. Yeah, I wasn't putting a curse on anyone. I don't believe in that stuff. It was more just leave us alone.
Okay. And that, I think that's fine. That's defensive magic. That's leave us alone. Whatever they do from there is fine.
I believe in abundance. If somebody came out with the Mocom Bros podcast, it's fine. There's plenty of hours in a day that people can watch things, and I believe that there's enough for everybody. And if somebody wants to go and gun after something that we have, best of luck, may the best man win. I really don't care.
Imitation is the biggest form of flattery. I mean,
it is.
I don't care.
And it's true. If there's one ghost show on, there's going to be 2 or 3 ghost shows on, because people know it works.
Right.
This is a good format. They're going to know it works. So yeah, I'm with you too. That abundance. I love and support other people who are whatever, like me, or you're a witchy, medium, psychic. Gay.
Right. Speaking of shows, you mentioned when we spoke that you started this new network called Paraflex, right? Can you talk about that and tell our audience, what is Paraflex? How did it start, and what is your role in it?
I'm one of the co-owner of 3 of us. It is a new network. It's called Paraflex, Paraflix. It is like Netflix, but it's all paranormal, horror, spiritual, cryptids, left of center, stuff you're not going to see anywhere else. Stuff, again, lots of paranormal shows that can go beyond even Ghost Adventures and Ghost Hunters and all those. We haven't even launched a month yet, and we're doing really good. it's and we've pulled some nice films off of like people who were on Amazon and lost, or network and just lost in the big mass. We want to be that independent little guy that you can shine. So we've got some amazing films, tons of original content you're not going to see on Discovery Plus or Amazon. And educational stuff. We have a little witchy people, not even me, teaching things like that. We have a few podcasts. I don't even have my podcast on it, but it's Paraflex.com. It's right now we just went Roku. It was iOS and Android. You could watch it on your TV if you have the right Fire Sticks and stuff, but we decided you have to have Roku too. So we just bought Roku. The apps are beautiful. They look as professional as anybody, as Peacock, Discovery Plus, Netflix, Amazon. Check it out. You can get a free day.
Yeah, that's a huge
free trial. And if you do, and it's only $9.99 a month or $99 a year. And if you actually are interested, just use the code Patti10 and you get 10% off your first 3 months. It's.
How did you come up with this? Was this part of, or were you asked to be brought in?
I was brought in. I'm just a girl who can't say no. A guy I teach with, this cute 22-year-old kid in the UK. He's Italian. I don't know, 8 months ago, maybe if we did a Facebook Live, he goes, I want to start a school. 5-6 months later, he is running this huge school, which I'm his main teacher. He's got 6 teachers from nothing, no investment, no anything. He just is magic, his kind of magic. Mm-hmm. And so he came to me and another girl, my other partner, this is a girl, she's in Dallas, Texas. So I've got a 22-year-old kid, Italian kid in the UK, a fiery redhead businesswoman in Dallas, Texas. And they kind of had this idea. And she produces Texas Paracon, which is like one of the biggest Paracons. She don't start little, let's start big. Mm-hmm. So they came to me and just said, we need a third, we need a creative, we need somebody who's attached with Hollywood and knows that side of things. Right. And everything in me is like, you don't have time. You have 3 minutes a day. You don't. And I'm like, okay, because it was such a good idea, because I have good ideas. I'm working on a couple of shows now. I have one called Down the Rabbit Hole, because all my time in Hollywood, and again, I'm born and raised here. I do lots of TV. And I love everything. I will never talk. I love every opportunity of being on Ghost Adventures and everything else. Mm-hmm. But it's like, I have other ideas too. It's like, what if we have some good resolution? What if we teach things along the way? What if when we actually cross someone over in the Black Dahlia house that help them go to the light, we show that on TV? Right. What if, and at this point in time, the other networks don't do that.
Right. Travel Channel became that like all-encompassing ghost thing. I mean, Travel Channel was with Anthony Bourdain and Andrew Zimmern, and then they just saw how successful Ghost Adventure was, and every show on Travel Channel now is a ghost is in my house or the haunting of, and it's like, it's fine, but it's a little like it's a little National Enquirer-ish,
Yeah. But I think they're changing again, because I think
hope so.
Everything now, they pulled it all off and put it on Discovery Plus, their new streaming.
Yeah, I just downloaded it.
They just streaming. Yeah. And again, they launched for Ghost Adventures. They lost it with our Cecil Hotel episode. So everybody wanted to see that, the Cecil Hotel. So you have to get Discovery Plus. I mean, yeah. So, but that's the future anyway. It is streaming. It isn't sitting here watching NBC, ABC, and CBS. Even those have streaming now.
So, Patti, what can people book with you? What do you do for the average Joe?
The average Joe, I do private sessions, again, usually over Zoom. I am starting to see people on my back. It used to be around the dining room table, but now I have worldwide clients. So one-on-one sessions, whatever, from coaching to psychic to medium to talking to just whatever. I have seances. Again, you got your own private, or I do public ones where you just come one at a time. I'm really known for my clearings, my space and home clearings, whether you have a ghost in your house or just you have anger and lack of productivity and abundance, and you've had illness or divorces and things happen, clearing. So again, whether it's the little Crackerback house or literally the Aaron Spelling mansion or the Phil Spector murder castle, or and I do a lot of businesses, a lot of law offices, a lot of agents' office, places that there's a little conflict and then offices get weird. Clearing, I just cleared a clothing manufacturer. I just cleared a makeup thing. full on warehouses. Let's have them working smoothly. Energy is just as important as, if you paint, you decorate, you dust, you clean, you set up your equipment.
Energy. Yeah.
The energy is just as important. So you want to create what you want it to be.
So where can people find you, Patti?
Everywhere. Bathroom walls across. No. My website is pattinegri.com. It's my name, pattinegri.com. I'm on all the social medias that we have to be. You can get there from my website. Instagram, it's patti.negri. Patti Negri Psychic Medium is my one verified one on Facebook, because there's a bunch of fakes now. If I ever call you and tell you you need a reading and give me $150, it's not me. I don't solicit. I'm totally if you want to come to me, great. So Patti Negri at Twitter, it's at Patti Negri. So I'm easy to find. And I have a YouTube page that you could learn stuff on your own. And I have my podcast called The Witching Hour, where I have amazing guests who are the best in their fields on occult, hypnosis, spirituality, spiritualism, feng shui, things that I'm not, astrology, things that are just pretty amazing, because I get to keep learning that way. If I bring in all the best of the world and I get to sit and talk to them for an hour, it's good.
Well, that's what people say when they go, what does spirituality mean to you? And I mean, you pretty much embody what spirituality is. It's everything. It's the broad spectrum. It's, if you don't want to learn Buddhism, don't learn it. You like dragon magic, that's spirituality. Spirituality is what you make of it. And I think that you are the definition of someone who is so successful in spirituality. We are so happy that you came on here, Patti. That was wonderful. You were amazing.
Yeah, well, you guys are great.
You were a good witch, Patti.
I'm a good witch.
You were a good witch.
I'm a good witch. Are you a good witch? And I have the big pig dress. I do.
Do you really?
Oh, the blended dress. That one day. I do.
Did you watch? This is a long shot. Did you watch WandaVision?
I haven't watched it. The one thing, I don't have a lot of time for TV. I want to. It's so bad. I have a list this long. I got
to tell you something, Patti.
The ending, more towards the ending, will be right up your alley.
I got to tell you something, Patti. I wrote a book called Witches Protection Program that got published, and I'm gonna mail you a copy. It was so in line with like who you are and what you do. And
I will read it.
Absolutely.
See, you guys are magicians. There you go. And you have dragons.
Yes, we do. I love the dragons. I love the easiness of it. Listen, everybody, go to pattinegri.com and you can get more information.
Get a reading. Go get your dragons and go get your dragon and listen to what Patti says. She knows exactly what she's talking about.
Everybody, like, subscribe, share this show. We appreciate everybody tuning in. Patti, hang out for 2 seconds. I'm going to play the outro, and thanks, everybody.
Bye, everyone.